Ninth grade, the start of high school, may have been the worst year for me, mainly because I had no friends at the beginning of it. All my friends were a grade behind me, and so when I moved out of middle school to ninth grade, my friends stayed in eighth grade. The whole first semester was, to be honest, just depressing and lonely. And until I decided to come out my shell, I had no friends. Social anxiety kept me at bay, and at times it still does to this day. But through these lessons, I learned to deal with it. As I did start to open up to those around me, I ended up running into some friends who had a very positive impact on me. And one by one, my friends started to accumulate. And instead of having a lot of, okay friends, I had 6 amazing friends. Friends I will never forget, and hopefully will be there in my future. I was truly happy at the end of this year, and I ended up learning that there's always people out there for everyone, no matter who you are or who you think you aren't. You don't have to change for anyone, and if they're your friends, they'll always be there for you. 10th grade was just about getting work done. Since I had friends, this led to one of the biggest teen problems I've seen, which is procrastination. I didn't turn anything in, and though I was very intelligent, I had F's all throughout my classes, except track, that is. Mainly because no one else that I known took that course, nor was there assigned homework. I wasn't attending track meets because of my grades, and so one day my coach... By the end of the school year, I was at about a 3.4 GPA, and it couldn't have been achievable without him. I know this. And had I taken his advice sooner, it probably would have been higher. That sophomore year, I improved more than I ever expected. I learned that authorities aren't your enemies. They tell you to do things, not because they hate you or they're trying to be mean. It's because they want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you back in the same grade the next year. They want you to move on past high school and past, hopefully, where they are. So when they tell you, usually put your phone up or get on task, it's because they actually care for you. This I learned through my 10th grade. 11th grade was next to ninth grade when it came to the worst years. I was soaring through 11th grade in Plano, Texas, where I'd lived since middle school, so about 6 or 7, maybe 8 years. At this point, I had amazing grades, teachers, and friends. But then I moved, not only to a different school, but to a different state. Midwest City, Oklahoma, that is. As I moved here, I ended up attending my first high school here was Star Spencer. And it was very different from Plano Senior. Not only was the uniform different, which, implemented an actual uniform instead of free dress, but the community was different. I was used to the diversity that was in Plano rather than the black community in Star Spencer, which, ironically, I did not relate to because I hadn't grown up in that type of community. So again, my friends were limited. I didn't make many, but the ones I did, they're all right. I had a total of 7 classes, 6 of them, or 5 of them, being electives and 2 being core classes. Some classes didn't even have teachers in them a lot of the days, not even subs. And so for those 2 semesters, one being the second semester of my junior year, and then the first semester of my senior year, I took things easy. I didn't go up and beyond. I did the least amount of work for, a decent grade, which is about an A or B at that school. But little did I know that this laziness would catch up with me. And so when I passed my junior year, I really hadn't learned any lesson until my senior year. When I had moved, it wasn't as big as my first move because I was still in Oklahoma. It's just that I'd moved a block away from my old neighborhood, which was fine because I hadn't made any connections or friends at my old school. And so I ended up attending Carl Albert for my last semester of high school. And Carl Albert was different than Star Spencer. It was actually a bit more challenging. And as I said, from my junior year, I would have learned, or, if I could go back, I wouldn't have taken it so easy because now it caught up with me. There was a lot of work and I wasn't used to it. And so as a result, I started to fail in class. But I used the techniques and tools I learned from my 10th grade year and actually went to teachers and friends for help, which, brought me to a decent B or A average in most of my classes. But then I started to have, self-conflicting, issues with myself. Problems I can't really put into words or discuss, but they were there. So I kept these to myself and just put on a happy facade for about a few months until I decided to talk to a friend about it, a friend back in Plano over text. He said he felt the same thing before, just a bit earlier, a few years back, and he gave me some tips and methods on how to handle it, and just said I should just go out and do me. I shouldn't be afraid to, just live life because, that's what we're here for, to live it. And so I did what he told me. I opened up, made some friends I didn't expect to, that were way different than me, whereas in Plano, I've only stuck to friends that are of, my mentality. And as a result, I actually did feel happy with myself. They brought self-confidence in me and, gave me the will to want to learn more and want to, compete with them. And so I haven't completely finished senior year, but this year I've learned that people are here to help. There's no problems that we have to handle on our own. There's, whether it's a teacher, parent, counselor, or even a close friend, there's always somewhere, somebody here to help us when we're feeling down, when we aren't feeling like, our best. And I've learned that I don't have to handle problems on my own. That's what people in this world are for. And I hope that you guys learn the same through this senior footprint.